Have you ever wondered why some people in their late 70s or even 80s still move with surprising energy, while others seem to age 10 years in just one? The secret isn't luck or genetics alone. It comes down to daily habits, habits so powerful that researchers can actually use them to predict how long you're likely to live. And today, we're diving into 7 proven tips after 70 that do exactly that. Pay close attention, because most people miss tip number 4, and it could be the very one that makes the biggest difference for your future. Before we begin, I'd appreciate it if you like this video. It really helps me spread these lessons about aging well. And if you haven't subscribed yet, now's the time to subscribe and turn on the bell so you never miss another video that could add years of health to your life. If you agree with what you hear, comment the number 1 below. If you don't, comment 0 so I know how to make the next video even better. Let's get started with the very first tip, and it's one that truly lays the foundation for everything else. Tip number 1, prioritize mobility every single day. Doctors and scientists around the world agree that your ability to move isn't just about comfort, it's one of the strongest predictors of longevity. In fact, research shows that something as simple as your walking speed can forecast how long you're likely to live. Those who walk faster at age 70 and beyond often enjoy more years of life, while those who slow down too much face higher risks of illness and decline. I remember Harold, a 72-year-old I met at a community center. He wasn't a marathon runner, not even close. But every morning, rain or shine, he made it his mission to walk around his block at a steady pace. His doctor once told him that his walking speed was as reliable an indicator of his health as blood pressure or cholesterol. Harold took that to heart. Now in his late 70s, he still carries himself tall, still drives, still dances with his wife on Friday nights. His secret? He never stopped moving. The other measure that scientists use is balance, specifically, how long you can stand on one leg. It might sound silly, but studies show that if you can balance for 10 seconds or more without support, your body has a far greater chance of staying strong and independent in the years ahead. It's not just a party trick. Balance reflects your coordination, muscle strength, and even your brain health. So here's something you can try today. Find a safe space near a wall or a sturdy chair. Lift one foot gently off the ground and see how long you can balance. If you manage 10 seconds or more, that's a great sign. If not, don't worry. That simply means now is the time to practice. Start small, hold on to a chair, try again tomorrow, and build gradually. Mobility is medicine. Every step you take, every stretch you add, every practice of balance is an investment in your independence and your future. Without it, even the best diet or strongest willpower won't protect you. With it, you give yourself the gift of freedom to go where you want, to see the people you love, to live on your own terms. So don't let a single day pass without movement, because the day you stop moving is the day you start aging faster than you need to. One of the most overlooked truths about life after 70 is this: your body doesn't process food the same way it once did. In your 40s and 50s, you could get away with a fast food meal or skipping vegetables now and then. But in your 70s, every bite either helps you live longer or slowly chips away at your health. Think about Eleanor, a 74-year-old widow who used to eat whatever was convenient: toast and coffee in the morning, processed snacks in the afternoon, and a frozen dinner at night. She wasn't overeating, but she was undernourished. Her energy dropped, her joints ached, and her doctor warned her that her bone density was slipping into dangerous territory. That's when she made a shift, not to eat less, but to eat with purpose. She started filling her plate with colorful vegetables, lean proteins, and whole grains. Within months, her energy returned, her digestion improved, and her bones even showed stronger results at her next checkup. The science behind this is powerful. As we age, our metabolism slows, our muscle mass naturally declines, and our body needs fewer calories but more nutrients. That means a plate of empty carbs or sugary snacks doesn't just add weight, it steals room for the proteins, vitamins, and minerals your body desperately needs to stay resilient. Researchers at Harvard and the Mayo Clinic emphasize that a nutrient-dense diet, rich in fiber, antioxidants, omega-3s, and protein, can delay chronic diseases and even extend lifespan. So what does eating with purpose look like? It means making every meal count. Instead of reaching for a muffin or pastry in the morning, choose oatmeal with berries or eggs with spinach. Instead of fried foods, go for baked or grilled. Instead of soda, drink water or green tea. And yes, still enjoy treats, just in moderation, as a celebration, not as your default fuel. Here's a simple action step. Build your meals around 3 anchors: protein for strength, fiber for digestion, and color for antioxidants. If those 3 are on your plate, you're not just eating, you're feeding your future. Food is not only fuel, it's medicine, it's memory, and it's the foundation of longevity. By eating with intention instead of routine, you give your body the tools it needs to repair, to protect, and to thrive well into your 80s and beyond. Because in many ways, it actually does. Dehydration is one of the most silent and dangerous threats to seniors over 70. You might not feel as thirsty as you once did, but your body still needs water just as much, if not more. In fact, studies from the National Institutes of Health show that older adults are far more likely to land in the hospital due to dehydration than younger people. And the symptoms don't always look like thirst. Sometimes it's dizziness, confusion, fatigue, or even sudden memory lapses. I'll never forget Charles, a 78-year-old who prided himself on being independent. One summer afternoon, he fainted in his garden and ended up in the emergency room. The cause? Severe dehydration. He thought the few cups of coffee and juice he'd had during the day were enough. But his body was begging for plain, clean water. After recovering, he made a vow to carry a refillable water bottle everywhere. And just that one change gave him more energy, sharper focus, and fewer dizzy spells. The science is clear. Water keeps your cells functioning, your joints cushioned, your digestion smooth, and your brain sharp. Even mild dehydration, just a 2% drop in fluid levels, can affect memory and concentration. Over time, it can accelerate aging by stressing your kidneys, straining your heart, and drying out your skin, making you look and feel older than you really are. So here's what you can do today. Aim for 6 to 8 cups of water, spread throughout the day. Don't wait until you're parched. By then, your body is already behind. If plain water feels boring, add a slice of lemon, cucumber, or a few berries for natural flavor. And remember, coffee and alcohol don't count. They actually pull water out of your system. Herbal teas and soups, on the other hand, can be part of your hydration strategy. A simple trick is to drink a glass of water at 3 anchor points. When you wake up, at midday, and before bed. That alone can transform your hydration levels and protect your energy. Hydration is like oil in a machine. Without it, the gears grind down and wear out faster. With it, everything runs smoother, longer, and stronger. And for you, that can mean sharper thinking, steadier balance, and years more of vibrant living. This is the one most people overlook, yet it might be the single most powerful predictor of longevity. You can eat well, exercise daily, and drink plenty of water, but if you sacrifice sleep, your body will age faster than you ever imagined. Sleep isn't just rest, it's a repair. It's the time when your brain cleans itself of toxins linked to memory loss and dementia. It's when your heart rate and blood pressure reset, giving your cardiovascular system the chance to recover. It's when your immune system recharges so it can fight infections and inflammation. In fact, researchers from Harvard and Stanford have shown that seniors who consistently get less than 6 hours of quality sleep face dramatically higher risks of heart disease, diabetes, depression, and even early mortality. Let me share the story of Linda, a 73-year-old who used to brush off her insomnia as just part of aging. She would spend hours tossing and turning, sometimes only catching 3 or 4 hours of rest before dragging herself into the next day. Her mood dipped, her memory grew foggy, and she felt decades older than her true age. At the urging of her doctor, she made changes, turning off screens an hour before bed, dimming her lights in the evening, and keeping a regular sleep routine. Within weeks, she began sleeping 7 solid hours most nights. Her energy lifted, her memory sharpened, and her blood pressure even improved. Linda once told me, "Fixing my sleep felt like getting 10 years of my life back." That's the power of rest. So how do you protect it? Start with a calming evening ritual. Shut down screens, sip a cup of herbal tea, read something soothing, or practice gentle stretches. Keep your bedroom cool, dark, and quiet. Your body sleeps best in a space that feels safe and uncluttered. And perhaps most importantly, honor your sleep schedule. Go to bed and wake up at the same times every day, even on weekends, to train your body into a natural rhythm. Sleep is not wasted time. It is the ultimate healer. Skipping it robs your body of its chance to repair. Protecting it is like giving yourself a nightly gift of renewal, one that keeps you younger, sharper, and stronger than any pill or supplement could ever promise. We often think of stress as an invisible burden that comes and goes, but the truth is, it leaves fingerprints all over your body. Chronic stress raises cortisol, your fight or flight hormone. In small bursts, it helps you survive, but when it never shuts off, it speeds up aging, weakening your immune system, raising blood pressure, and even shortening your telomeres, those protective caps on your DNA that literally measure how fast you age. Take John, a 76-year-old former accountant. After his wife passed, he bottled up his grief and pushed through each day without really facing it. Outwardly, he seemed fine, but inside, stress was quietly wearing him down. Within a year, his blood pressure spiked, his energy drained, and his doctor warned him that his heart was under dangerous strain. It wasn't until John joined a local support group and started talking through his feelings that things shifted. With each conversation, each walk with friends, each deep breath in moments of overwhelm, his stress eased and his health stabilized. The message is simple. Unrelieved stress ages you faster than almost anything else. But managing it doesn't require moving to a mountain or living a stress-free life. That doesn't exist. It's about having tools that keep you grounded. Prayer, meditation, gentle breathing exercises, journaling, or even sitting quietly with calming music can reset your nervous system. So can laughter. Sharing a joke with a friend or watching a funny show isn't just entertainment. It's therapy for your heart and brain. Here's a quick action you can try right now. Inhale slowly through your nose for 4 seconds, hold for 4, then exhale through your mouth for 6. Repeat that 3 times, and notice how your body relaxes. It costs nothing, but it tells your system, you're safe, you can let go. Stress will always knock at your door, but you get to choose whether to invite it in. By managing it before it manages you, you protect your heart, your mind, and your years of life still waiting to be lived. If there's one thing that surprises people about longevity research, it's this. Relationships are as critical to your health as diet or exercise. In fact, Harvard's 80-year-long study of adult development concluded that strong social ties are the #1 predictor of happiness and long life. Loneliness, on the other hand, is as damaging as smoking 15 cigarettes a day. Think about Margaret, a 79-year-old who lived alone after her husband passed. For a time, she barely left the house, convincing herself she was fine on her own. But her health began to decline. More aches, less sleep, and a constant sense of fatigue. Her doctor suggested what no prescription could provide: a human connection. Margaret began attending a weekly church group, started calling her sister daily, and even joined a book club at her library. Within months, her energy returned, her laughter came back, and she said she felt 10 years younger, not because her body had changed, but because her spirit was lifted by others. The science behind this is clear. Connection lowers stress hormones, boosts your immune system, and even sharpens your memory. Sharing meals, walking with a neighbor, volunteering, or simply picking up the phone to check in with an old friend, all of these acts create a safety net that protects your health in ways medicine cannot. Here's a simple challenge. Make one connection today. Call someone you miss, invite a friend for coffee, or join a local group that sparks your interest. It doesn't have to be complicated. What matters is consistency, showing up again and again for the people who matter to you. Remember, isolation accelerates aging, but connection renews life. When you nurture your relationships, you're not only extending your years, you're filling them with laughter, meaning, and love. And that, more than anything, is what makes the later chapters of life worth living. If there's one thing that surprises people about longevity research, it's this. Relationships are as critical to your health as diet or exercise. In fact, Harvard's 80-year-long study of adult development concluded that strong social ties are the #1 predictor of happiness and long life. Loneliness, on the other hand, is as damaging as smoking 15 cigarettes a day. Think about Margaret, a 79-year-old who lived alone after her husband passed. For a time, she barely left the house, convincing herself she was fine on her own. But her health began to decline. More aches, less sleep, and a constant sense of fatigue. Her doctor suggested what no prescription could provide: a human connection. Margaret began attending a weekly church group, started calling her sister daily, and even joined a book club at her library. Within months, her energy returned, her laughter came back, and she said she felt 10 years younger, not because her body had changed, but because her spirit was lifted by others. The science behind this is clear. Connection lowers stress hormones, boosts your immune system, and even sharpens your memory. Sharing meals, walking with a neighbor, volunteering, or simply picking up the phone to check in with an old friend. All of these acts create a safety net that protects your health in ways medicine cannot. Here's a simple challenge. Make one connection today. Call someone you miss, invite a friend for coffee, or join a local group that sparks your interest. It doesn't have to be complicated. What matters is consistency, showing up, again and again, for the people who matter to you. Remember, isolation accelerates aging, but connection renews life. When you nurture your relationships, you're not only extending your years, you're filling them with laughter, meaning, and love. And that, more than anything, is what makes the later chapters of life worth living. One of the most powerful ways to stay young in both body and mind is to keep your curiosity alive. The moment we stop learning, we stop growing, and that's when life begins to feel smaller and more limited. Studies from the National Institute on Aging show that seniors who challenge their brains through new learning, whether it's a language, a skill, or even a new hobby, maintain sharper memory, better problem-solving abilities, and greater emotional well-being. Let me share a story about Paul, who turned 82 last spring. After retiring, he could have settled into a quiet, predictable routine. But Paul had always been fascinated by history, so he signed up for a free online course about World War II. Soon, he was taking notes, joining online discussions, and even teaching his grandchildren little-known stories they had never heard in school. His family said he seemed more alive than ever, energized by this new sense of purpose and discovery. Curiosity doesn't have to be grand. It can be as simple as trying a new recipe, reading a book in a genre you've never read before, or asking your grandkids to teach you how to use a new app. The point isn't mastery, it's engagement. Every time you step into something unfamiliar, your brain forms new connections, your confidence grows, and your outlook on life stays fresh. Think of it this way. Your mind is like a garden. If you stop planting new seeds, the soil dries up. But when you keep planting curiosity through learning, exploring, and asking questions, you create a harvest of vitality that feeds you year after year. So here's your gentle challenge. This week, pick one small thing to learn. It might be a new word, a piece of technology, or even a story from a neighbor's life. Keep your mind open, because curiosity is the closest thing we have to a fountain of youth. It makes each day feel like a discovery and keeps your spirit glowing with energy and wonder. Now that we've walked through these 7 proven tips, let's step back and see the bigger picture. Living longer after 70 isn't just about avoiding illness or counting birthdays. It's about staying fully alive in your body, mind, and spirit. When you keep moving every day, when you eat with purpose, when you stay hydrated and protect your sleep, you're giving your body the tools it needs to repair and thrive. When you manage stress before it takes hold, nurture your social connections, and keep your curiosity burning bright, you're not just adding years to your life, you're adding life to your years. Think about which of these tips spoke to you most. Maybe it was drinking more water. Maybe it was protecting your sleep. Or maybe it was that quiet reminder to reconnect with friends or pick up a new hobby. Whatever it is, commit to taking just one step today. Small daily choices add up to powerful results. So I want to hear from you. Comment on the number of the tip that hit home the most. Was it tip 2 about eating with purpose, tip 4 about sleep, or maybe tip 7 about curiosity? Comment below with your number, because your story might inspire someone else watching right now. And as always, if you found value in this video, please hit that like button, subscribe, and turn on the bell so you never miss another lesson about living well after 70. Your support helps us keep creating content to inspire and empower seniors everywhere. Remember, longevity is not an accident. It's the result of choices made daily. And you, right now, have the power to make those choices. So stay strong, stay curious, and keep living with intention. Because life after 70 isn't the end of the story. It's the beginning of a chapter you get to write with wisdom, joy, and purpose.